You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Well, it took a second longer than we were anticipating, but we are here for round number 4 of the Extreme Motorsports Xfinity Series here from Fontana, California, and the Auto Club Speedway. Good evening, everybody. My name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. We might have David Motorspaw coming in the not-so-distant future here to help me with this race, which is certainly going to be a good one. As I believe I'm having some overlay issues right now, which is absolutely fantastic. So right now I will take you through what will be the starting lineup here for tonight's race. Starting on the pole will be the number 99 of Rob Haynes. Travis Beckner will line up to the outside of him in row number 1. Paul Irvin and Austin Karp will make up row number 2. Jacob Jensen and Alan Fox will sit in row number 3. Davey Hendricks and Nicholas Caldwell in row 4. Bryce Senesac and Mike Rominger in row 5. Row 6 will go to David Elliott and Logan Koger. Ed Morris and Kerry Cleaver will make up row number 7. James Shainwolf and Michael Thwaites in row number 8. Row 9 will see Justin Lemke and Gary Wells side by side. Row 10 will go to Adam Capps and David Killow. Josh Wren and Alex Relling will make up row number 11. Ted Pullen and Mike Robinson will sit in row number 12 with Kobe Collins and Ed Morris Sr. rounding out what will be the field of 26 drivers that will be taking to the grid here this evening for this round number 4 race from the Auto Club Speedway. A fun night to be had, I'm sure, for all, as we are getting set to go. Stage break, I believe, if I saw correctly, should be at the end of lap number 33 here this evening. So that will be something to watch out for sure, as we've had one duplicate stage winner. Yes, it will be stage break at lap 33. As we've had one duplicate stage winner thus far. That is Travis Beckner, who has won the stages at Texas in race number 2 and won the stage last week at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. Again, Beckner will be starting from the outside of the front row in that number 27 Palooza Pines Chevrolet Camaro. Pace car getting set to come off of pit road here as we come onto pit road, I should say, as we get ready to go here. It will be one heck of a run here at Auto Club Speedway. 100 laps from Auto Club. We are green. One of the big things about this racetrack is how these cars fan out down the big back straightaway and how wide these corners are. You can see everyone using every inch of this racetrack that they could possibly get to, as it will be Travis Beckner leading the opening lap here from Auto Club. Beckner picking up right where he left off last week at New Hampshire, led 146 of the 175 laps run a couple of weeks ago at New Hampshire. And so far has led the first 2 circulations of this race here tonight. A lot of moving around going on in the midfield, as that's Logan Koger in the 25, holding the middle of the circuit. Now it appears to be the 96 of Kerry Cleaver having some connection issues. There he is in that purple and yellow Ford Mustang. Of Davey Hendricks. And Starburst, number 11, currently occupying the 8th position. One driver has clearly made a move forward here in the early stages of this race. That would be the driver that's currently sitting behind Hendricks, 83 of James Shanewood. Plus 6 positions here thus far in the early going. Not to be outdone by the one, as I believe there was a car backwards and around. It was Ted Pullen. Or is that, no, that's Mike Robinson. That was around in the back, and that will be the first caution of the event. Take a look and see here what happened with Robinson. Looks like he may have squeezed Ted Pullen a little bit. So we can catch it one more time here. There's Pullen in the 15. On the outside, and yep, just pulls Starts to bleed that car out towards the wall. Didn't realize the 15 had gotten the run that he did. And that will be caution number 1 here this evening. See what the early decision is as far as pit lane is concerned. And it looks as though everyone's going to come down. Alan Fox at the moment, the only driver that has not pulled it down pit road. This might just be a fuel stop. We do know that these races do come down to fuel mileage here at Auto Club from time to time. Yep, looks like just a top off and go for the majority of the field. As a 2-car incident involving the 15 of Ted Pullen and the 39 of Mike Robinson brings out caution number 1 of the evening. Again, Alan Fox in the 73, there he is. Out in front right now, did not pit. With the rest of the field. %70 fuel fill on these cars, which is more or less standard throughout the series. Well, throughout the season, I should say. So being able to give yourself as much time as possible and as much fuel as possible certainly cannot hurt you. Drivers choosing which lane they want to restart in. Now, the running theory of this racetrack over the last couple of updates that iRacing has put out, which, by the way, there will be another iRacing update coming out on the 19th, so this upcoming Thursday, there will be some downtime for an update. With the last couple of tire models, a lot of drivers have tried to work that outside line as you typically would around here. However, the inside line has been a lot better at saving tires for these drivers as these races have gone on. So it's going to be a pick and choose your own battle here. Do you want the speed of the high line, especially coming on corner exit, or do you want to save that right front tire by rolling the inside? It's not going to help you on corner exit, but it certainly could help the long run speed of your vehicle. Getting set to go back to green flag racing here on what will be lap number 8 of 100. Green flag about to go out. There it is. Alan Fox on the jump. And we are back to racing here at Auto Club. Drivers fanning out all through turns 1 and 2. There is one of the men fighting for this championship here, Mike Rominger, in that number 4. Winner of the opening round at Daytona was Rominger. Right now mired in that 8th position, trying to work that high line to move up. Alan Fox, as you would expect on the same tire, able to maintain this lead, Paul Irvin. The 48 trying to make a move, running in P3. Rob Haynes, the only Canadian in the field in that number 99, as there goes Travis Beckner, looking for that race lead once again. Again, that inside line, it's not going to have the momentum of the high side, but it certainly could see the advantage later on in the run. It's the quality of life in that tire. Here is your second group. James Shanewolf in that white number 83. Logan Koger in the number 25 on the bottom. Battle for 8th spot, that's been sorted out now as David Elliott in the 42 trying to keep Alex Reeling at bay. Has done quite a good job at that as Reeling now on the attack of Koger. Battle for the race lead, Travis Beckner back up to the front. Slow car on the bottom as Beckner has a big lag spike there. Still has not returned. There he is in the 27. Saw that slow car on the bottom. That was the 39 of Mike Robinson coming back in after his incident that brought out the caution on lap 3. Another car on the lead lap, off of the lead lap, I should say, Josh Wren in the 36. It's the only two cars not on the lead lap at the moment. Big slide there out of the 48 of Irvin, but the racing has been here in the mid-pack. Ed Morris trying to work his way back up and through. Let's see how close that 2. It's Adam Capps in the 2, David Elliott in the 42. Further ahead, Alex Reeling has gotten out ahead of this group, but again, the width of this racetrack provides so much racing room as James Shanewolf gets doored into the wall by the 25 of Logan Koger. And you saw, another big slide, this one by Adam Capps in the 2. 25 of Koger getting into the wall. This mid-pack race is fierce at the moment. They're 4 wide and around goes. Oh, a couple of hard hits. It's the 42 of David Elliott hard into the wall. Same with Bryce Senizak in the 09. Ed Morris was one of the cars that we saw going around as well. It's Davey Hendricks there in the 11. And there goes the motor for that number 11. That would spell the end of his day, unfortunately. A couple of guys took incredibly hard hits here. So here's the replay. See, 4 wide. Net code. My goodness. Hard hit for the 19 of Austin Karp as well. We're right on board here with Karp. Who's just behind this. From Michael Thwaites is on board. He's already gotten around it at this point. Let's go hear from Thwaites. How does he get through this? Pretty easily, I must say. Davey Hendricks on board. Around the 8 quarters, watch how much he gets of this. Couldn't really see too much, but certainly an impact nonetheless for that number 11. A lot of guys coming down pit road, led by Rob Haynes in the 99. Reeling down and away in that Appalachian State Ford Mustang. Michael Thwaites, clear of damage as well. David Killough in the 38. Gary Cleaver out of pit road. The top 9 deciding to stay out here, as we are just about halfway through this first stage of action. Travis Beckner and Alex Fox, at the moment, the only 2 drivers that have managed to lead laps here tonight. As the choose cone has been passed, drivers choosing which lane they prefer to start in. Travis Beckner electing the outside line. So it'll be Beckner and Irvin on the front row. Alan Fox choosing the outside line behind Beckner. That will move up Jacob Jensen in the 64. A blue, white, and orange machine. Beautiful, beautiful colors, I must say, as a Met Islander and Nick fan. Love when people break out the old orange and blue. Getting set to go back to green flag racing here at Auto Club Speedway. It's about 10 laps or so after we went green after the first caution. Back out racing again, and Beckner held the field down quite a bit, and that's going to force, looks like Josh Wren in the 36. It was Wren down into the grass. Field all Constantine it up. Take a look at that replay in just a moment as there you see Colby Collins. That number 9 Coors Light machine. Working his way up through the field. He is the biggest mover of the race by far, plus 16 from where he started in that number 9. Nicholas Caldwell holding on to a top 5 position at the moment. Logan Koger on the bottom. 25 of Koger has been very, very good down there. Gets up, slides up a little bit too much, right into the path of Caldwell. Field is trying to evade, but that will bring out caution number 3. And oh, that's the 39 of Mike Robinson getting involved in it again. There you see all the damage. That's a big whack out there for the 34 of Nicholas Caldwell. That will most likely put an end to his night. We have quite a bit to look at here from what happened. Here is what happened with Josh Wren on the restart here at the number 36. See that blue, the green and black USG number 36? He gets punted away. And then coming down the back straightaway, we saw what happened with Logan Koger and Nicholas Caldwell. Koger chasing that car up the hill. Oof. Robinson may have also got Ed Morris in there as well. Yeah, there's Ed Morris at the 7. Down to the inside. More cars coming down pit road. 13th on forward, deciding to stay out. And with that, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back. You are watching the Ricmotech Xfinity Series right here on Sim Racing Media.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com. Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
About to go back to green flag racing after caution number 3 here at Auto Club Speedway. Once again, it will be Travis Beckner leading the field down as we get set to go racing. Just about 10 laps to go until we get to the end of the stage. Into the restart zone they go. Green flag back in the air. Once again, racing here at Auto Club. Front half of the field looking as though they're cycling themselves out. It's the midfield here that once again is the Hornet's Nest. as Kerry Cleaver working to the inside of Gary Wells. This is for the 9th spot. Cleaver's going to make that move stick. For how long will he make it stick, I think might be the question, as Jacob Jensen looking to the outside in that number 64, trying to get past James Shanewolf. Shanewolf really closed the door on him. Shanewolf very lucky to get away with minimal damage after that big accident that brought out the second caution. Shanewolf sliding to the inside of Paul Irvin, looking for the second spot. Rob Hayes down on the apron. I mentioned this at another series in Las Vegas a couple of days ago. You can very legally run down there below the white line, but there is no rule saying that you have to get let back up. As Rob Hayes now moves up into the second position. So Travis Beckner picking up right where he left off last week at New Hampshire. And now Haynes looking back to that apron, trying to get to the inside of the 27, and does successfully. Rob Haynes now for the first time to the race lead. It's a big wiggle coming out of turn 2 and will just get up in front of Travis Beckner. Beckner looking for his third stage win of the season and his third consecutive stage win of the season. Only other stage winner this year thus far is Paul Irvin, who won the first stage back at Daytona. Irvin's not looking too bad himself right now, as he's side by side with Jacob Jensen, trying to fight to stay inside that top 5, as Alex Relling in the 1 looming as well. Well, far away from the Appalachians, but Relling not far away from the top 5 at the moment. He currently has a top 5 position, pushing Jacob Jensen through. See no one else voluntarily run that 5th lane up there. Has Alex Redding, and you saw the run that he had, gets right past Paul Irvin and still has enough momentum to dive under Jacob Jensen to jump up into the 4th spot. Rob Haynes starting to run away. Stage break will end once the 10th place driver crosses the line on lap 33. And as of right now, that is David Kellogg in the number 38, battling with Gary Wells in the 11th spot. These two have about a second back to the group you see there, the 2 of Caps, the 12 of Thwaites, the 9 of Columns. And fortunately for these two, they're again in a pocket of their own, a second behind, but unfortunately for them, 1 point is all they're fighting for, as they're about a second and a half behind Mike Rominger, who currently occupies the 9th spot. And then still all of this racing up here at the front. Kerry Cleaver working his way up off the top. Looking to the inside. looking for position. Unfortunately, not able to get it. Rob Haynes has checked out. 0.8 of a second to the good over Shane Wolf and Beckner. Jensen trying to hold off two very fast cars in that number 96 and the 1. Catches the wall, trying to push to stay ahead. That's going to allow Cleaver to get to the bottom. Will he be able to make the run, though, is the question. Look at that one way up on the high side. Alex Reeling on the high side gets cut off there by the 64 of Jensen. Jensen tries to anticipate the move to the bottom. Reeling stays up to the top. So we are coming to the final lap here of this stage. And it is Rob Haynes all the way, 1.25 seconds to the good over Travis Beckner, James Shanewolf. Killow in 10th has started to pull away from Gary Wells in the 33, but here we go, coming to the line. It will be Rob Haynes taking the stage, his first stage win of the season. Must be the completion of lap 33 then. Still don't think it's going to change anything. Coming to the line is Deja Vu all over again. Comes out of 3 and 4. We're going to put it up again this time. Stage winner. Did we get a caution? There we go. Now we got the caution. There's the stage caution there. Rob Haynes officially the winner of stage number 1. I'm sure somebody in the chat has been screaming at me it's the end of the stage. Well, the end of the lap, I should say. So that will do it for stage number 1. Still trying to work a couple of kinks out here, so we're going to take this opportunity to once again go to break. We'll be right back with the beginning of the remainder of round number 4 for the Extreme Racing Series, Ricmotech Xfinity Series, right here from Auto Club.
Allow Extreme Scoring to do the work for you.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Pit stops aplenty here as we hit the end of stage number 1 here at Auto Club Speedway. Round number 4 of the season. Rob Haynes in the number 99 takes the stage win. His first stage win of the year. Third unique stage winner through the first 4 races of the season. As Haynes has elected to take the inside line here on this restart, Alan Fox, the winner of the race off of pit road, has elected the outside line and will choose to restart this race once again up on that high line. A lot of cars choosing the outside lane. See only about 5 or 6 cars down on the bottom. Great opportunity for track position as these drivers shuffle their way through the fields here thanks to the choose cone on the restarts. Green flag will be coming out here now to begin the second and final stage and the run to the finish. Here from Auto Club Speedway, green flag is back in the air. Good start from Fox, and already some pushing and shoving in the mid-pack there. That's James Shanewolf in the number 83 trying to make a lane for himself through the middle, and does successfully. Shuffled out Kerry Cleaver in the number 96 on a very aggressive move on the start. As now Rob Haynes going to the bottom, 3 wide here for the race lead going into turn 3, almost 4 wide. Now it is 4 wide as the 1 car goes up to the high side. And it's going to be Beckner coming away with the race lead and blocking off that momentum from Reeling in the 1. Reeling has figured out that extreme high line, and to great effect. What a job by Reeling on that high side. He's going to try to use the momentum, and does, to get to the inside of Travis Beckner, looking for that race lead, and he's going to get it going down into turn number 3. Paul Irvin holding on to the 3rd spot. Jacob Jensen, Rob Haynes battling there as well in the top 5. You see Kerry Cleaver, who got mobbed at the start. Oh, and around goes the 33. It's Gary Wells. Caution is out. Caution for the 6th time today. It's the 28-year-old from Indianapolis, Indiana. Catches the wall going down into turn number 1. We'll see what happened. It's Mike Rominger. Oh, that's the 38, pardon me. 38 of Kilo getting into him. lot of smoke coming out the back of that number 33. Alan Fox down pit road in the 73, surrendering the third spot. Logan Koger down pit road. We've seen Koger involved in an incident earlier on tonight. So we are working our 6th caution of the evening, our 5th of the race. Now, as we were hustling and having some technical issues getting this race going, we missed our look of the standings here. So we'll take a look at that now. Currently in as it stands, Bryce Senizak currently leading the overall point standings. Now the top 3 in points, as you were to look at it on the Extreme Scoring website, would be Mike Rominger, Alan Elwood, and Travis Beckner. Those 3 are locked into the playoffs via race wins. But as the point standings stand, it is Bryce Senizak who currently holds the overall points lead of the 31 drivers that have attempted the first 3 races here at Auto Club Speedway. Also going to take a look at the Teams Championship as we come into tonight. Primetime Motorsports currently out ahead by 36 points over Elite Esports. Rush Hour Racing there as well. Nicholas Caldwell Racing 4th. Haynes Motorsports will get a nice boost after the stage win to open up the night. Dark Horse and Hutch Sport Racing rounding out the Teams Championship as it stands coming into round number 4 of this season. Round number 5 will come to you next week from the Chicagoland Speedway. 134 laps will be here right at the same exact time. Well, I won't say the same exact time. We'll be here a little bit earlier than what we were today. Then the next Tuesday, can you believe it? It's going to be Halloween 2 weeks from today. Then we get a week off. Well, we get that week off before going racing again on Tuesday, November 7th. That will be at Sonoma Raceway. Then we'll get 2 weeks of no broadcast. November 14th will be a 50-50 money race for these drivers. Then the 21st off for Thanksgiving. Then you get 3 races before we're off for 2 weeks for Christmas. And then it is go the rest of the way. So Chicagoland Speedway coming up next week. That will be round number 5 before an off week for Halloween. So Travis Beckner has elected the outside line with Alex Reeling jumping to the inside. As we are getting set to restart this race, coming off of caution number 6 of the afternoon. Caution number 5 for incident. As the pace car ducks on off, green flag coming back out. There we go, green flag back in the air. Beckner, a good run off that outside line. And once again, Kerry Cleaver in the number 96, blinking out on the restart. And also, once again, James Shane Wolf going right after it on the restart, picking up 3 spots on the restart in that number 83. Incredibly fast on the trigger is Shane Wolf in that 83. Is now Jacob Jensen in the 64, looking to the inside of Rob Haynes. Alex Reeling holding that outside line, as he has done the vast majority of this race, and has shown a lot of pace with it in that number one. And very, very close between Haynes and Jensen. Going through turns 1 and 2 in the battle for third. What a battle it is. Haynes has that momentum on the outside line. Unfortunately, just not able to clear the 64 of Jensen just yet. Little bit of a wiggle, nothing too concerning for the 64. What's more concerning, I think, right now is for Mike Rominger, who has the 96 blinking in front of him. Riding on board with Mike Rominger. Mentioned the overall point standings of Bryce Senezak. There he is. The 09 running in the 13th position. Running right behind Ted Pullen, who was a part of the first incident on lap 3 here tonight, along with the number 39. Couple drivers no longer participating in this race. David Elliott and Davey Hendricks both done after the accident on lap 13. Ed Morris done after 24 laps. Nicholas Caldwell, 34, done after 26. Gary Wells in the 33 has not yet called it an evening. However, he is on pit road and has been for the last 6 minutes, as he works on repairs to his number 33. Logan Koger has just gone down pit road, as Paul Irvin in the 48 has called it an evening as well. So 5 of the 26 drivers that started this race no longer participating. As right now, as I had mentioned at the top of the broadcast, David Modesbaugh might be joining us at some point during this race, and I believe he is here. David, welcome in. If you're here and ready. I think he may have stepped away. So David's almost here to join us at the halfway point of this race as we are crossing the line to begin the halfway lap. As Travis Beckner showing the way here at Auto Club Speedway. His top 4 has broken away by about a second over Mike Rominger in the 4. There he is. He's gotten around the 96 of Cleaver. Adam Capps in the 2, James Shainwolf in the 83, pardon me. 38 of David Collot, the 12 of Michael Thwaites, currently your top 10 at the moment. As we are in the midst of what has been the longest green flag run of the evening thus far. Travis Beckner, as we mentioned, starting to pull out a little bit of a lead. Led 146 of the 175 laps at New Hampshire last week. He's the first driver this season to complete the clean sweep, take the pole, win the stage, win the race. Beckner slowly but surely, as we take a look at the lap time history between first and second, it's slow progress for Beckner, but it is progress nonetheless. That number 27 is pulling away from the 1. Now, going to try to pull away from the 64 of Jacob Jensen, who jumps to the inside. The momentum will carry the 1 and keep him outside. This will allow Beckner to scamper away just that little bit more. Mike Rominger has driven up to and caught. Not only caught, but passed as well, the 99 of Rob Haynes. So move Rominger into the 4th spot. Jacob Jensen, you saw just before we went to Rominger, got around Alex Reeling and is now trying to bring Travis Beckner back in. Side to 3 wide going into turn 1. Shane Wolf spent a part of that earlier on in this race. It didn't end well. This time it ends a little bit better, as Kerry Cleaver will lose a couple of spots to both Shane Wolf and Michael Thwaites. Cleaver, though, trying to take that momentum on the bottom line. David Killough may have given the 83 a little bit of a shot there going into the corner, but Killough able to hold it up on that outside line. Kerry Cleaver blinking again in that number 96. Good news for him is at the back of this pack with about 1.5 seconds back to the next closest competitor. Adam Capps comes down pit road as we look off the back. There we go, look off the back of Michael Thwaites. Watch how those cars behind him fan out going into this corner. It's one of the fun things to watch about Auto Club Speedway, the amount of lines that these guys can take. I believe we've tried it once. Let's go and try it again. Mentioned at the top of the show, David Motisbaugh was going to be joining me at some point tonight. We've tried once just before halfway. David, are you there now?
I believe I finally got you. Great to be alongside you tonight.
Thank you very much for jumping in. I know you just got home from work. Really do appreciate jumping right on to help little old me as battling for the 8th position here. It's the 9 of Colby Collins will take that spot, but Shane Wolf holding on. And we've seen a lot of momentum being used throughout this race, David. Guys running that outside line, not having the best of luck on the high side going into quarter entry, but especially the 1 has really been able to make it work on corner exit, picking up that speed.
Been keeping an eye on things as much as I could. As you mentioned, me coming from work, couldn't really keep a close eye on things, but seems like some great racing out there so far. And as you mentioned, these guys really showing off that momentum and running that high line. So excited to see how it plays out here in the second half of the race. And of course, excited to be alongside you. Just can't wait to see what these drivers have in store for the rest of the night.
Excited to have you. Really appreciative that you are here. As Michael Thwaites gains a position on Rob Haynes, and I believe that is why. Jacob Jensen coming down pit road, followed by Rob Haynes. So pit stops starting here. Again, this is the longest green flag run that we've had of this race. 70% fuel fill on these cars, so pit stops are going to be coming a little bit earlier than normal. This, you would think, seeing a couple of guys seeing second and fourth place dive into pit road, that might start making the leaders start to think about maybe it's time.
Of course, being those cars in second and fourth place, you can't always just follow the leader around the track. You got to flip strategy, change it up. I know I heard you mention earlier in the broadcast, here at Auto Club, this is a track that really does play itself to that pit strategy, really figuring out when you can get on pit road, get that money stop in, and really make a run for the end.
Michael Thwaites jumping down pit road now. Would expect at least one more stop to go here in this race. We see now the battle for the last couple of spots inside the top 10. That'll be Ted Pullen running in 9th. Ed Morris Sr. in the number 5 running in 10th. As Travis Beckner, thanks to his own pace and the drivers coming into pit, Beckner now with a 1.8 second lead over Mike Rominger. And we're seeing these guys running that bottom line. I mentioned at the top of the show that the inside line is going to be the line you're going to want to run in order to save a little bit of that right front tire. Certainly helping these guys go a little bit longer right now.
Keeping those tires happy on this track is certainly hard to do, given some track temperatures and other things that can really play into the entire effect here. Burning those tires off early, we'll see drivers running that high line, really wanting those tires on that car and coming to pit road, as you mentioned, just a little bit sooner than these guys who are able to hold it down there on that low line.
And now you're going to see the pace difference as the 64 of Jacob Jensen on fresh tires is now going to pull right up to the back of and pass Mike Rominger. That is for second place in line, so he'll be getting his lap back with the next car he passes. Will the 64. And speaking of tire fall off and tire deg pace fall off, you see it more at some tracks than you do others. These guys have fallen off by about a second and a half a lap. So right now, Jacob Jensen gaining a second and a half on Travis Beckner. He was only 6/7 of a second behind when he came into the pits. Would have to assume that the 64 is going to be coming down pit road as now the 4 heeds notice and comes down pit road.
Certainly keeping an eye on that competition, seeing those faster tires, knowing how much it means, as you mentioned, up to a second and a half for these drivers. So certainly some things that you need to keep in mind as we see the 15 coming in hot onto pit road there. Have to keep an eye on that, see if anything happens.
At the very least.
With a penalty there and getting that 15 in hot, looks like he probably will spend a little extra time in the box.
Got in hot and also hit that tire wall at the end of pit road with the right side door of that car. As now Travis Beckner, after he has been passed on track by Jacob Jensen, is going to come down pit road. So race leader in. That will hand the lead of the race over to Alex Relling in the 1. Michael Thwaites getting his lap back, and the race is going to be, watch out for the number 64. We'll bring the track map up. See that white dot there of the number 64 going through turns 3 and 4 right now. The 27 down towards turn 1. That is where Beckner is. And it looks like Jacob Jensen is going to pull this race lead clean.
Certainly using some strategy there, getting on fresh tires just a little bit sooner. Certainly can pay off, get you all that time you need to make up a position on the track when pit stops cycle around. So good to see some strategy playing out there. Excited to see if any drivers take note of that and keep that in mind for the money stop here coming up in the future.
He's going to have one heck of an advantage over Travis Beckner. A good 7 seconds will be the difference. As there's Alex Relling. That is a rather peculiar way to be stopped in pit road. Let's see what happened here with Relling. Oh, he overshot, had to back up. He was too close to the wall and just decided to yank it out.
just had to make a minor correction there for the crew to be able to get around the car and service it properly. So hopefully it doesn't hurt him too bad, but those extra seconds can really be precious, as we've seen on the track already today.
I know I said yank it out. No, that's not a joke for the internet to enjoy, as Michael Thwaites paddling with Travis Beckner now. This is for position between these two. Beckner running in 10th now. Also for position, the driver right in front of him, that's Adam Capps in the 2. So Beckner already starting to work that 7-second gap back in, as he just set the fastest lap of the race at a 40.39. Absolutely flying right now is at 27.
Certainly taking that fresh tire advantage, using every last bit of that rubber that he can right now. So Beckner making his way solidly into the top 10, and then of course when the lead cycles around here, only going to be a few seconds back behind our leader. Looks like he's cut it back to about 6 seconds or so already, and certainly cutting into that lead.
Yeah, 5.5. He is rolling right now towards the back end of that 64, but the question will be, will he have enough tire to be able to stay with him if these guys don't have to make another pit stop, which I'm assuming they will. As David Colo right now currently running in the race lead. Bryce Senizak, your points leader, coming into tonight. Running in second, James Shainwolf. Running in third, Ed Morris Sr. in fourth in the number 5. And Josh Wren rounding out the top 5. These are the 5 drivers that have yet to come down pit road here. Part of that because they came down pit road on lap 41. Not long after the stage had ended. So these drivers will be running a little bit further. Still, everyone has to make one more stop. But right now, Colo finds himself 24 seconds ahead of Jacob Jensen. He was the first car on the newest tires, so everyone's got a pit. This might fall right into Colo's hands if it stays green.
Certainly making some tough pit calls and having the advantage of having pit, a couple laps earlier and around that stage break, things of that nature. Colo getting a huge opportunity here as long as things stay green. And of course, assuming we do need to make one more stop for every driver in the field, that would put Jensen at a big disadvantage, and possibly why we've seen him push so hard coming out of pit road to really make up some of that extra time to try to cut into that gap, knowing that Colo will still have to make one more stop as well.
Bryce Senizak not that far behind, just over a half a second behind. You see him in picture there, that black 09 machine. There he is, making way for the one of Alex Rilling, who's trying to get a lap back the hard way. Travis Beckner right now battling with Mike Rominger and Rob Hayes. This is for position between Rominger, Beckner, and Haynes for the 7th spot, effective P2 when everything cycles out. Is speaking of P2, he comes into pit right now. Bryce Senizak down pit road.
Making his move now, and I would certainly think that at this point in the race, we are seeing what will be the money stop for that 9 machine, and getting some fuel and I'm sure some tires on that machine. Make sure that he can do everything he can to make it to the end of this race.
70% fuel for these races, so I'd be, unless he thinks he can make it the last 30 laps, he may have to come in again. David Colo now coming in. Well, they came in on lap 41. They're in now, full green flag run, no caution laps to help him out. It's 30 laps exactly, so yeah, these guys could theoretically make it the rest of the way.
Drivers, of course, taking a gamble, pitting early, knowing that they will be on some pretty old tires come the end of this thing. But as you mentioned, if that is the full fuel run, they will be able to make it, and it did pay off for them last time, so we'll have to see if they can make up enough time and enough speed to gain that lead back from Jensen, who is still currently out, now 14 seconds behind the leader of Morris. and making his way up through the field to resume that lead after these after these stops cycle out.
James Shainwolf coming down pit road, surrendering the second position. That would leave Ed Morris Sr. out in front of this race. He is the last one to make a pit stop. Jacob Jensen will inherit the race lead after that. It is Travis Beckner, who is 1.5 seconds behind, giving chase in what will become the battle for the race lead. We'll take a quick and final break and be right back. You are watching the XMS Xfinity Series right here on Sim Racing Media.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com. Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Back here for round number 4 action for the XMS is Xfinity Series. Say that 5 times fast. Jacob Jensen had just taken over the race lead as Ed Morris Sr. came into pit right as we went to break. And just before we came back, you saw it, the 64 down pit road for what will be his final stop. Travis Beckner has now taken over the race lead. But more importantly, David, Jensen did not come out ahead of the 09, the 5, or the 83 who were pitting off cycle.
Certainly going to add some complications if we did our calculations correct, and we certainly should have, knowing that they ran from lap 41 to lap 71 there without having to come to pit road for fuel. So now it's really all in the hands of Jensen, right? Couple of spots to make up, quite a few seconds in between what should be our effective lead after these pits cycle out. Certainly excited to see it. Certainly excited to see if he has enough time to chase that 9 machine down and make it back to the race lead tonight.
I mean, you're seeing on screen the response to that as well. The 27 wasting no time coming in. Mike Rominger the two of Adam Capps coming in. Ed Morris, we saw in the background there, he's finally back out on the racetrack after getting involved in an earlier incident. He has come down pit road as well. That will give the lead of the race over to Michael Thwaites as Rob Haynes comes down pit road. Now, forgive me, but I don't believe Rob Haynes pit all that long ago, as Colby Collins coming in as well.
I believe you are right. I think I saw the 99 machine on pit road within the last 15 laps for sure, I want to say. So something we will definitely have to keep an eye on. Perhaps we did miscalculate just slightly. That 9 machine might have to make just a splash and go to make it to the end of this thing, but that would certainly spell some big complications, giving Jensen a real possibility of making up this time and getting back to the lead.
Now, it's either that or we have greatly, or these guys are undercutting or short pitting to try to limit the damage and try to get as close to guys like the 09 of Senizak, the 5 of Morris, to try to give themselves a chance to win this race. As you see, there's the battle now between Travis Beckner and Jacob Jensen. Beckner was able to just get out ahead of Jensen. Michael Thwaites surrendering the race lead to come down pit road. Alex Reeling coming down as well. And I would have to assume that Justin Lemke is going to come down soon as well. He came into pit on lap 62. So we now have 20 laps to go. And if these guys are short pitting trying to win this race, here he comes now.
Drivers certainly using all the strategy. Now the cards are out on the table. Just to have to see if it will pay off for them. Of course, right now that 9 machine running very strong. Morris doing quite well himself. Will it be enough? Do they have enough fuel? We mentioned that the fall off earlier on a full run looked about 1.5 seconds. So there is certainly enough time left in this race for Jensen to make that up if things cycle out the way we expect them to. But that 9 machine running very strong right now and not seeing an indication that he would be coming to pit road shortly.
Now, the reason why this is not the battle for these two for the race lead between the 38 and the 09 like it was before they came down pit road, David Collot got a speeding penalty onto pit road, so he had to serve a black flag penalty. After his pit stop, his pit service was completed, so he is now fighting to try to stay on the lead lap with Bryce Senizak behind him. Now, if we mathed correctly here, which I believe we went over several times on Wednesday, last Wednesday, I am not good at math. If Bryce, I don't know if Bryce Senizak is going to have to come in again, or is he trying to withstand a 19-second gap between himself and Beckner for this win?
I certainly have to think, just the way that we quick mathed it, that 9 machine has enough. It's really coming down to maybe just a tiny bit of fuel saving mode, give myself a little bit extra in case I need overtime, and then of course saving a little bit of that tire if these guys do catch up. What can I do to battle back and keep this position to win this race? And of course, as you mentioned earlier with the early kind of look ahead, lock my way into the championship. So these drivers, of course, always thinking ahead to the end of the season. Everybody wants to be at the top of their game when it counts the most. So that 9 machine, I think, doing what he can right now to kind of cut those doubts out early and lock himself into that championship, that playoff, and get his way in there.
Travis Beckner, Jacob Jensen getting past James Shainwolf for what we're not quite sure is an effective P2 just yet. We said, yeah, my long math skills are questionable, so certainly my quick math is not up to par either. But right now, Senizak would have to be losing over a second a lap to Travis Beckner if Senizak does not have to come in again, which Senizak clearly is losing to clearly is losing ground to Beckner, but as you see there on the bottom of the screen, it's not over a second anymore. It's starting to come down, and that's with Beckner pushing as hard as he can. And now he's battling with Ed Morris, and he's just taken over that second position as you see the graphic on the bottom go haywire.
Of course, I have to throw it in there again. I think that 9 machine, even though he was losing, as you showed on the screen there just a moment ago, over a second a lap, just barely over a second a lap, a few laps prior, that 9 machine certainly has to be keeping an eye on that gap behind him and knowing, hey, I got to push just a little bit more, make sure that I have enough of a gap here, and then when it comes down to it at the end, if I have to race it out, I can race it out, saving just enough to make things competitive come the last couple laps of this race.
And that may seem like a lot that Beckner is pulling in on Senezak, and it certainly is. But when the gap is 14 seconds and there's only 13 laps to go, that a lot is still not enough. We'll see what he can pull back this lap. He pulled out 9/10 of a second last time around. Beckner crossing the line now. He pulled out a second, and that's still not enough. And as the run winds down, with Beckner pushing as hard as he is to try to pull that gap back in, he's losing tires. So the amount of time he's going to be pulling back in on Senezak is going to be getting smaller and smaller and smaller as the run goes on.
Certainly seems like an insurmountable gap at the moment, but we do have 12 laps to go. We have seen crazier things happen in a race. So right now, Senezak just really focusing on that line. You see him racing around some lap traffic trying to unlap themselves here as well. Doesn't really seem concerned about anybody else around him, just really focusing on running a good line, maintaining that gap back to Beckner in second place, and doing what he has to do to get to the end of this race cleanly, so that if he has to race it out with Beckner come the end, he has that opportunity to do so.
It's Justin Lemke in the 35 that just got around the 09 of Senezak to get himself back on the lead lap. Rob Haynes battling with Michael Thwaites. This is for 7th spot between these two, about 25 seconds behind the man we were just seeing on screen a moment ago. As Haynes will lose out to Michael Thwaites. Jensen up into the 3rd spot. He has gotten around Ed Morris Sr. just a second ago. So Ed Morris Sr., this is going to be a very, very good race for him in that number 5 coming into this race. He was 15th in points in that number 5, and now to get a 4th place finish if this thing were to stay green, very, very good day for the driver of the number 5.
Certainly stringing together those top 5 finishes, those top 10 finishes come the end of the season. That's really what you need to do to ensure that you can point your way into the playoff rounds here in the XMS Xfinity Series. So congrats to Ed Morris Sr. doing a good job today, getting it out there, really making up for the slow start to the start of the season and getting some great points on the board here in round 4, doing what he needs to do, looking forward, and then, of course, trying to carry that momentum forward over the next couple of weeks.
It's up 22 positions after starting in stone dead last here tonight as well, so another very good run for him. Does have Mike Rominger coming up and closing in behind. The story up front has pretty much remained the same. Bryce Senezak still has a good enough gap between himself and Travis Beckner. And Beckner's streak of 2 stage wins in a row broken here earlier tonight by the number 99 of Rob Haynes, who won his first stage of the season. Beckner trying to go for 2 straight race wins, and he is looking like he's coming up about 2 seconds short now. As I mentioned a moment ago, that gap, because of the amount of pressure he's putting those tires under, that amount he's gaining is getting smaller and smaller every lap.
Certainly not helping pushing that machine as fast as he can. And then, of course, the 9 machine, I'm sure, picking up the pace just a little bit, just, again, ensuring that he's doing everything he needs to do, that by the last 2 laps or when that white flag finally does come out, that it's not even a question, right? I can just focus on my line, I can get around this track, take the easy checkered flag, no worries for that number 9 machine. That's what he's looking for tonight.
Beckner right now is at the point where he needs a caution or he needs Senizek to come down pit road. As Beckner, not of too much concern. Of course, you want the race win. You want the playoff points going into the playoffs. You want the extra points you get for the wins. But Beckner does have that race win already, so he will be in the playoffs. Bryce Senizek does not have that luxury just yet. Still very early on in this season. But Senizek working towards locking himself into the playoffs for this Xfinity Series Season 18 and looking very, very good to do it on an off strategy. I think, you know what? I want to go on board because I think I just heard something with Bryce Senizek. Let's run on board, see what he does going through 1 and 2. I thought I heard that car coasting. Yep, he's clutching it.
Indeed.
So Bryce Senizek is doing everything he could possibly do. I can't believe I heard that.
Saving some fuel and, again, just making sure he has what he needs should anything happen. If our quick calculations were correct, he did have enough to make it to the end of this race, but certainly ensuring he has some extra, maybe saving a little bit for a victory burnout, as he still has that sizable lead over second place right now, right around 6.5 seconds, and we are 4 to go. So doing what he needs to do, making sure that he has enough, and certainly seems like right now, unless something catastrophic happens or we miscalculated on that fuel, that 9 machine's going to be in victory lane.
Yeah, his biggest concern right now is not doing anything to run out of fuel because he has the pace over Travis Beckner at the moment. Beckner is not catching him at nearly the rate of knots that he needs to be in order to catch him here in the final 3 laps. So Senizek, all he has to do is not run out of fuel here. He will have his first win of the season, but David, definitely more easier said than done.
Easier said than done, and certainly stressful as a driver, right? I know when I have been in the car and I have been approaching that mark of, hey, we're a little closer than we wanted to be on that fuel call. I certainly don't have the guts to start clutching it through the turn. A lot of people don't really know this, but when you take away the power from the wheels, the lack of control in that car kind of, everything just goes out the window, right? You're not transferring that power to the ground, and steering can get a little crazy, and especially if you're in some dirty air or some lap traffic, it can do some weird things to the car. So right now, thankfully for that 9 machine, out in some clean air, able to clutch that machine, save some gas, and doesn't look like it's affecting his handling too much.
There you see the last time the top 10 came into pit. Bryce Senizek, the earliest of those drivers to come in. Senizek has a top 3 finish already this season. That was back at Daytona, finished in 3rd. Finished in 2nd at Texas as well. Coming into this race as the overall points leader. And looks like he's 2 miles away from coming home as a race winner as well.
White flag in the air, great lead. That 9 machine, of course, doing what he needs to do. Looks like the battle for second and third has certainly played itself out. Beckner having the advantage, a couple seconds over Rominger. So looks like our podium is pretty well set here, barring any incidents on this last lap.
Yeah, barring any incidents or anybody running out of fuel, Bryce Senizak comes through turns 3 and 4. The points leader will come home tonight a race winner. Bryce Senizak wins round number 4 here at Auto Club. What a job he has done tonight to get that thing across the line.
Certainly a strategy call and working everything to his advantage. Congrats to that number 9 machine. It was awesome to watch him run that strategy out. Always wished that I could do it, but again, just don't have the guts to start clutching if that's what it really took to make it down to victory lane tonight. Congrats.
Getting a little help as well from the man who finished second, I believe, to try to just get back around here to get to victory lane. Mike Rominger, a very good finish for him as well. As we will work on getting these drivers in for interviews, but what a race. Little start and stop early on, but once they got going, boy, it was great to watch, and we got another classic Michigan Auto Club fuel mileage finish, and Bryce Senizak played it to perfection. Into victory lane he goes. We will bring our race winner in now. David, you are with Bryce Senizak.
Bryce, this is David and Frank up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah.
Congrats, man. Perfect strategy tonight. Just playing right into your lap. You had the right amount of fuel. We did see a clutch in there at the end. Was it a question if you had enough to make it to the end, or were you just trying to save some just in case you needed it?
It was for sure close. It kept on like going down the margin. I was like good by like 2 laps at the very start. Then it was down to like, I think 10 to go is when it was just really getting close. And then the 5 to go, I was like, well, I gotta start clutching and trying to manage this. And it was spot on, like just in the middle of coming out forward of the backstretch. And I don't know how, but I did it.
Great to see it play out for you. Of course, have to think that you were keeping an eye on that rear view mirror, knowing that the 27 machine of Beckner was starting to close the gap there for a little bit. Were you worried that he would have enough to make it to you come the end of this race?
Oh, for sure. That was the only thing I was thinking of, because I knew when I pitted for the last time, that was going to be the last one for me for this race. And everybody else that like pitted the caution before, they're going to have to do an extra stop. So it was just all a matter of how big of a difference they could make on those fresh tires.
Well, congrats again on getting it done here tonight. Must feel good to lock yourself into that playoff, and certainly a long way to go, but a little bit of relief knowing that you have locked yourself in. Like to give you this opportunity for some thank yous and shout outs.
Oh yeah, unfortunately this was only a part-time deal. I got some other stuff coming up there where I'm going to be racing at. Glad they let, in one of my few starts, I could pull up a win. I mean, like Texas, I felt really fast, and Allen was just too fast for me. I couldn't get it done, and here, like, lap 3, I was down in the grass. Something happened, or someone bounced off the wall, bounced into some dude, got into me, and I'm in the grass. And then later, I'm piling into a crash, and I got like 4 minutes of damage. And then we're like halfway, I finally got it all fixed. But crazy, but yeah, I gotta thank Ed Morris for all he does. You guys up in the booth. Thank everybody on track for keeping it clean on that last stint. Nah. Yeah, I think everybody over in another Discord, they're watching, to shout out to them. So.
All right, well, congrats again. Go celebrate that win. I'm sure it feels great after having that great strategy tonight.
I will, thank you.
So that was your race winner here tonight, Bryce Senizak. Now we'll go to our second place finisher, Travis Beckner. And Travis, the off strategy is what gets you here tonight. You certainly had the pace, but unfortunately just didn't get on that right strategy at the right time.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention when they all pitted there on that last yellow, and I had no idea we could make it to the end at that point, but they were able to, which good for Bryce. Happy for him. I race with him in other leagues, and he's a fun guy to race with. He definitely deserved that 110% right there.
You've had a good run of luck over the last couple of weeks, of course, winning the stages at Texas and New Hampshire, winning the race at New Hampshire, leading a vast majority of that race. What has been the key for you, the confidence coming through these last couple of races that have gotten these results?
I don't know. I just come out here and drive. Have fun, and if I wouldn't have overshot my pit box on the first stop, I think I could have had a shot at getting Bryce there at the end.
We go to Chicagoland next week. What are your thoughts going to Joliet, Illinois?
I really don't know. Well, we'll see what happens when we get there. So, yeah.
All right. Anyone you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, I'd like to thank y'all taking time out of your day to broadcast this race. Everybody here at Extreme Motorsports and everybody at Area iRacing. Also like to thank my sponsors, Calusa Pines Landscaping of Southwest Florida, Area Shop. I gotta pull this up real quick. Area Shop, Hendry County Motorsports Park, Lodgebox, Wax Electric, all of them. And oh wait, no, it's not Lodgebox. It's never mind. I give up. Too many words.
Yeah, how many times I wish I could hear that in a professional interview. Travis Beckner, your second place finisher tonight, bud. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I would love just once to hear like Alex Bowman go. Yeah, there's too many. I don't remember. As
just all the sponsors.
Yeah, exactly.
They're all there.
Yeah, just look at the car. I'm sure you'll see it. Your third place finisher tonight, Mike Rominger, is with David now.
Mike, this is David up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, congrats coming home third tonight. Looks like you put together a pretty good strategy. We're battling it out there for that second place for a little bit with Beckner. Tell me, what was going through your mind in those closing laps, thinking that you might be able to make up some of that time and catch back up with him, see if you could steal that second place position?
I don't think I was going to catch Travis. He took off after we pitted that last time, and I never seen him again. I was kind of, hurting for drafting help back there, but, it is what it is. Happy to come in third,
Certainly seems like you put together a great race tonight. Looking at Chicagoland next week, another fast track. What are your thoughts as we look forward to next week?
Yeah, I kind of like that track. We'll see what happens. Each week's up and down kind of deal, so you don't get too high and you don't get too low. You just try to stay calm and go on.
Keeping those consistent finishes is certainly what you're going to need come the end of this season. Looking forward to playoffs. Love to give you this opportunity if there's anybody out there you'd like to shout out to before we let you go celebrate that podium tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for putting on the show, and Ed for all he does, everybody behind the scenes, and all my teammates, and congratulations to Bryce. He done a heck of a job saving fuel there and got that win. So congratulations to him.
All right, Mike. Well, congrats again, and go enjoy that podium with your team.
Thank you.
Well, David, just like that, another great night of racing in the books and here at Auto Club. Again, you can't ask more than what we got. Another classic fuel mileage race at this big 2-mile D-shaped oval.
And as always with the XMS series in general, these drivers putting on some great shows, of course, making us do some quick math, seeing how strategies are going to play out, making these drivers and, of course, everybody watching just really sit on the edge of their seats wondering how the race is going to finish and play out. Can't wait to see more from these guys, and, of course, looking forward to the weeks coming up. I'm going to have to tune in.
It is absolutely fantastic. Hell, you could join me up in the booth if you want. We will go now to our finishing results here for tonight's race. Again, Bryce Senesac coming away with his first win of the season. Travis Beckner, Mike Rominger, your top three. Jacob Jensen and Ed Morris Sr. rounding out the top five. Very good finish for that number 5. Michael Thwaites, Rob Haynes, the stage winner here tonight, comes home in 7th. Alex Reeling, Kobe Collins, and James Shainwolf coming home in the top 10. Jason Lemke, Adam Capps, David Calo, Josh Wren, Kerry Cleaver comes home as the first driver a lap down in P15. Ted Pullen, Mike Robinson, Gary Wells, Alan Fox, and Austin Karp, the top 20. Ed Morris, Logan Koger, Paul Irvin, Nicholas Caldwell, David Elliott, and Davey Hendricks rounding out your field of 26 drivers here this evening. Well, thank you very much for joining us here tonight at the Auto Club Speedway. For my broadcast partner, David Motisbaugh, my name is Frank Marchese. Thank you very much for making us a part of your evening. We will see you all next week from the Chicagoland Speedway in Joliet, Illinois. Until then, as you walk down the road of life, please don't play in traffic. Good night.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.